one told me. No one told me. No one told me. I'm staying here. Now, you want to arrest me like Charles Oakley? Fuck that. Or you arrest me like, shut your hand on my back like Oakley?
Welcome back to First Take. We're coming to you live from above the Heineken River Deck at Pier 17. Renowned filmmaker Spike Lee is with us now. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Is a fixture as Knicks games through thick and thin. What you just saw, a bit of an altercation with MSG security last night. A video circulating online showing Lee yelling at the Garden security outside of an elevator, leading some that he was saying he was thrown out of the arena. But a Knicks spokesman said that was untrue, that it was simply an issue of Lee using the wrong.
I never said I was thrown out of the arena. I don't know how that got in there. This is Garden Spin. Thank you for having me. And this
Black Klansman was great, by the way. I haven't seen you since then.
Thank you.
What happened?
Look, it was a terrible experience. When I went home last night in the cab, I said I'm gonna let it chill. And then my son read me the statement by the Garden. I said, nah, it's Spin. Here's the story. I've been coming the last 28 years. I've used one entrance.
28 years.
28 years. Plus, my wife reminded me last night, said, we've been married 26 years and we dated a year before that.
And they were hot garbage most of those 28 years.
Not at the beginning.
Yeah,
that's what my wife
Go ahead. What happened?
So, I've been using the same entrance for 28 plus years. The employee's entrance on 33rd Street. Yesterday, last night, I go in, my ticket gets scanned. I'm in. The elevator.
Yes.
Go in the elevator. And also people having their ticket scanned also. And elevator's not moving. And the security guy comes to me and said, we need you to get off the elevator. I said, for what? So we could speak about it now. I said, I'm not getting out of the elevator. So another 5 minutes, then they finally send the elevator up because they know I'm not getting out the elevator. Get on the elevator. As you know, people don't know, the Garden floor is on the 5th floor. Elevator goes to 5, and security's waiting for me like it just ran out of Macy's stealing something. And they said, this guy, security guy, this comes to the top. He says, Mr. Lee, you have to leave Madison Square Garden. They wanted me to leave the Garden, walk outside, out to 33rd Street, employers where I came from, walk outside, and come back on 31st Street. And I said, I'm not doing that. First of all, you scan my ticket. You can't scan a ticket twice. Also, I know that once you leave a sporting arena event, you can't come back in. So I don't trust these guys, so I'm not going for the okie doke.
Also, why are you taking a perp walk? For what?
Let me just get it.
Let me finish.
Okay.
So I said, I'm not leaving. Then they said, we want you to leave the Garden. I put my hands behind my back, and I said, arrest me like my brother Charles Oakley. Then I got here. There's some brothers I know. I grew up in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. There's Spike. Brother. Yeah. They said, Spike, did some crazy stuff, but if we take you in the elevator and go to the 6th floor, not outside the Garden, go to the 6th floor, we'll walk you to your seat. I said, bet. So at halftime, Dolan comes over to me and says, we need to talk. I said, talk about what? We need to talk. I said, Mr. Dolan, I don't want to talk about nothing. I've been coming through this entrance for 28 years. Plus, Wednesday, historic event, the Rose Bowl Stadium Arena, Madison Square Garden. They had a Broadway, they took To Kill a Mockingbird and had a performance for 18,000 New York City public kids. Amazing event. Where did I go in? The employee entrance. That was Wednesday. So if they want to change this whole new policy talk about, and at first they never said when the thing changed. So why not call me? When my deposits due was an astronomical price for Knicks tickets, and I'm one day late, my phone is ringing off the hook. So it's not, if they change the thing, let me know.
Why do you think the policy changed, at least towards you?
I'm being harassed by James Dolan. I don't know why.
Let me ask, what about the press release did you object to that made you, what did the press release say that you said that's not true?
That me and him, after he came to me, this, at halftime he leaves, and he always walks across the court, and it's a direct right where I'm sitting. And the press release says that we shook hands and we were laughing.
They actually said...
This is what it says. A Knicks spokesman said that it was untrue, that it was simply an issue of Lee using the wrong entrance.
How is it the wrong entrance if no one tells them they come to the same entrance for 28 years?
I just want to make sure that we have
No, that's a lie.
So they made that up.
It's Garden spin. I wasn't shaking his hand. In fact, when he came over me, I didn't get right away. I was sitting in my seat.
So when James Dolan came over to you,
Yeah.
what did he say to you exactly, and what was your response exactly?
He said, we have to talk. I said, talk about what? I said, Mr. Dolan, I've been coming here for 28 years. When is somebody, why I was not notified? By email? Text?
He said.
Phone? He says, now you know.
Let me ask you.
Now you know it's too late.
Spike, why do you think that you, a top-paying customer and the most famous, fan of the Knicks, this doesn't happen to Jack Nicholson at Staples, right? With
No.
16-time
That
champion.
happened to Drake. You go down the line. Jimmy Butler, Miami, nowhere.
So why do you think
You gotta
they
ask
target?
Mr. Dolan.
Why do
You gotta ask him.
You don't have any theory about why they target the number one fan who pays for his courtside tickets for now?
And nothing like to say, I never asked for any celebrity extra. I come there. I don't try to get on the Jumbotron. I just come there to enjoy myself. My father started taking me to old Madison Garden 1967, 68. I was in the Garden May 8, 1970 for the Willis Reed game. I was 13 years old.
You were arguing about Bernard King over Larry Bird, and she's
Hold on,
got to
Max.
have it.
Yes.
Hold on, Max. Let's play the devil's advocate, because I want to take the other side just for a second to make sure you have a response. You know that there are some people out there that's gonna look at you, Spike Lee, Oscar award winning, Academy Award winning Spike Lee. Okay, he's a celebrity. He's so accomplished. This is the latest example of another celebrity, a spoiled celebrity expecting preferential treatment. What do you say to people that think like that, Spike Lee?
In my heart, I'm still the kid from Brooklyn that was sneaking in the Garden. I love the Knicks. Those are my guys. I grew up with Willis Reed, Red Holzman, Dick Barnett, Cassie Russell, Dave Stallworth, Nate Bowman, Bill Bradley. Those are my guys. It's a shame. I look up at the roof and you see the banner from 72, 73. That's the last time we had a banner. I think, am I gonna die before we win another championship? Is my son who's 24? Is he gonna die for another championship?
What does it say to you that you're sitting here today talking about this? And just a couple of years ago, we had Charles Oakley removed from Madison Square Garden. We had Kevin Durant decide to go to Brooklyn, in part because he looked at the headlines that were being created, not even by the Knicks basketball department. Certainly not by their security, because I know a lot of those guys in security from Madison Square Garden. They're absolutely great. They're scared to get fired. It's a damn shame because they're good guys.
Can I just say this real quick?
Go ahead.
I've been coming to the Garden. My seat's courtside, 20 plus years. I know all the guys.
Security.
The security. They're scared to talk to me. I know these guys years. They've seen my children go up. My son Jax is 24. My daughter's 24. My son Jax is 24, telling me they grew up in the Garden. They don't even want. Let me finish.
Yeah, we just have to get a commercial.
They look at me, they give it like this. I understand. People walk on eggshells to the Garden because they know they can be fired in a second.
Spike, the floor is absolutely yours. We just have to get in a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back more with you, and we'll discuss.
Thank you.
Also, when we come back, more with Spike, but wherever Tom Brady the wrong entrance, we're getting all that
The
out.
wrong entrance for 28 years? The entrance was Wednesday.
Stay with me, Spike. Because here's what I want. Here's what I want to ask to a lot of folks out there who don't know about, because you ain't talking about the Knicks, you talking about Dolan. You talking about right?
It's not this. Even the thing you put up.
That's right.
It was not. It's not against the Knicks.
All right.
I got nothing. I have nothing but love for the players.
Okay. Here's the deal. One would ask, you've been a season ticket holder for decades. It obviously
On my third decade.
And the third decade.
Can I just say this real quick? When we got Patrick Ewing, I was in line that night. I've had season tickets since we got Patrick Ewing, and 3 years.
1985.
3 years, I moved down.
Okay.
I got my season tickets. As soon as we got Dave the Busher and pulled it out,
That's right.
I was online at the Garden for my season tickets.
But you were upping them in your film since like '84.
Yes.
Okay, right. Stay with me, because we got to get these questions out. One would ask, why in God's name would the owner of the Knicks, who obviously has presided over a franchise that's been allergic to prosperity for about 20 years, why would he have a problem, any kind of problem, with his number one supporter, meaning the Knicks' number one supporter? How can you make sense of that to people out there watching?
I can't speak for the man. I'd like to say though, also, even though you tried to get me, I ain't saying nothing about Dolan. You know,
Yeah, I've asked you several questions in the past about Dolan,
You know-
and you've never said a negative word about him.
never negative.
Is there anything that you could have said or done that you think might have triggered?
I can't speak for the man. You have to get you gotta call him. I can't speak for him.
How much? I'm trying to think. They haven't obviously done anything since his daddy gave him the team, since he inherited the team from his daddy. How much money have you handed over to the Dolan family? Would you what do you pay for season tickets, Spike? Because I remember in the mid '80s, it was like between $1,000 and $1,500 pop.
Stop! I'm interrupted because of Spike. Spike asked me to reach out to his guy to
Al Palagonia.
find out.
He doesn't even know.
Al Palagonia, right?
Right.
Spike doesn't know, right? So I asked Al Palagonia what the ticket was. He said $3,400 per ticket per game.
And that's 41 home games every year?
There's a totaling $299,000 for a pair for the year when you add preseason. That's according to
So
your
you're talking
guy.
about
Al.
Preseason's thinking of a scam too.
So you're talking about $300,000 a year times almost 30 years when you adjust for inflation.
Yeah.
So you have given them about the equivalent of $10 million over the year. And that,
I look like a.
but not only that, but Spike.
I'm gonna use my Martin Scorsese. I look like a Mama Luke.
Something like that.
Spike, you were the only celebrity face mostly associated with the Knicks. Like, there was Woody Allen, then there was you, and then it was Jack Nicholson for the Lakers, and you for the Knicks. So you also kind of give them free publicity and branding for decades, in addition to the $10 million when you adjust for inflation.
$10 million.
Over.
My wife's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Why would they, so again?
You gotta ask Dolan. You gotta ask Mr.
But
Dolan.
clearly, you feel, it seems to me, you correct me if I'm wrong,
I'm being
that the
harassed.
fact that they wanted to
Hold it.
leave the Garden.
Hold it, Max. You just said you're being harassed?
Yes.
Are you going back to a Knicks game this year?
Not this year.
Are
Really?
you considering?
No. I'm coming back next year, but I'm done for the season. I'm done.
See, this is why Dolan gets away with
Do
it.
you think
Because
that was
fans like this.
Dolan's goal? I know you said you can't.
My dear.
I know you said
Please
you
don't
can't.
ask me more. I cannot speak for the man.
I have another
I
question.
can't speak for him.
I understand that. I think it's just that when we have certain things happening with the show, say it's whether they bring in Leon Rose, they bring in Steve Stout, and they talk about changing the brand. I was just asking your opinion. If this is the first time it ever happens to you, they bring folks on to change the brand. You're considered part of the brand, and now they're giving you a difficult time. If maybe you personally felt like they're trying to change the brand in addition to you.
And it's something I forgot saying.
Mhm.
It started a month ago. Because of 28 years, I've been used employee entrance. And after every game, I take the ramp. It's a circular ramp outside, inside the garden. It's a circle. It's a
You
shape
have
of
to
the
walk
garden.
by it before we go to the media. Yes.
Yes. For 28 years, my entrance has been employee entrance. for 20 years, I go down the ramp. And a month ago, they stopped me from going down the ramp.
Spike, I have a question.
Yeah.
You don't know why.
Okay.
Knicks fan. You sitting up here today doesn't make the Knicks look very good. Particularly with perspective.
Oakley and handcuffs to the back. That's another thing that Kevin Durant. We talk about people that want to come to New York.
Yeah, that's it.
He did not mention that. He did not mention Oakley. That was more detrimental to anything. But seeing the heart and soul of the Knicks let out of the world's most famous arena.
I got it. So now, hold on. So now I'm getting to you. Because you sitting up here today, what you're doing is you reminding us of Oakley. You talking about what happened to you, and you're a diehard Knicks fan. You're going back there next year. You sitting up here today. It doesn't make the Knicks look very good right now. Are you concerned, or do you think you should be concerned about the effect that this could have on a potential free agent's willingness to come to the New York Knicks in light of what you're highlighting?
Damage. No one's. You can't. Look, the guys will see me when they come. Like, I'll see Spike when I come to the Garden, but I ain't playing for the Knicks, so. But, I just like to say, I know that this whole thing, thank you for having me, and I'm going to say again, I was not going to say anything. I went home from the Garden, the Rolls Fair Arena, in the cab saying, I'm not saying nothing, and then when I read that lie, that spin that they put out, I called you. I'm at the game. Charles Oakley hit me up because on Twitter. Reggie Miller hit me up. I was trending on Twitter before the game was even over.
I didn't even know about it, and then you called me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, it's smart PR
So,
for
yes.
the Knicks. By the way, they want a new. Hey, give the new regime a chance. They win a game at home, and the headline's going to be after Charles Oakley let off in handcuffs. They have beef with Spike Lee
On
who's
that
put
day,
over millions of dollars to watch this game over
the
the year.
day that Leon Rose is named the president of basketball operations,
He didn't even get a press conference.
and he didn't even get a press conference.
Shrewd.
All right. Spike done with the Knicks for the remainder of the season. Spike Lee,
I'm going to the draft, though, and let's not mess that up.
Black
Okay.
Klansman was fresh.
True fan.
What are you working on?
When